Hello, and a very good evening from Durban, South Africa. I'm Drew McDermott, and I want to welcome our Neil Life family onto this call tonight. It's always a pleasure getting together with you, even if it is via webinar. And I want to give a very warm welcome to our African welcome to our guest speaker and my good friend, all the way from the USA, the west coast of the USA, Mr. Josh Clark. Before I go any further, I'm just going to do a sound check here. 1 second. Josh, are you hearing me okay?
Yes, I can, Drew.
Fantastic. Okay, I thought there was a problem on my side. Okay, we're looking good. Josh, welcome to you. A very warm African welcome to you. Josh is a Vice President of Sales for Neil Life North America. Along with his wife, he is a very passionate and very successful world team member and second generation Neil Life distributor. And above all, he's a very good friend of mine. And I remember the very first time I met Josh, it was crystal clear that he had a deep, deep love for Neil Life. And he pursues our mission to make the world a healthier and a happier place with incredible passion and enthusiasm. In fact, he has dedicated a year of his life to touring the US on a bus with his wife, Chelsea, and their 6 children plus their dog. And if that isn't commitment, I don't know what is. And their whole focus is to share the Neil Life story and the mission. And I know that by the end of this call, it will be clear to you all that Josh comes with a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, and he gets super excited about empowering people through our opportunity. So Josh, welcome to the call, my brother.
Well, thank you, Drew. Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be with you and with all of South Africa.
Wonderful, wonderful. Our time is limited, so I'm going to get stuck straight into it. And we, in Neil Life, we offer people a generational opportunity. And I know many companies speak of this, but in Neil Life, we have so many real-life great examples of this business going second, even third generation. And you and your family are a wonderful example of this. Can you just kick this call off by sharing your story?
Absolutely. And if I may first just say again, it's great to be with you, Drew, and it's great to be with the whole Neil Life family over in South Africa. And I got to tell you, you fired up us here in North America when you were gracious enough to speak on our leadership call back in December. And people are still talking about it. I want to thank you for speaking at one of the events and as well. And so it's a privilege to be with the family over there. And my wife and I, we were over there in '98, I believe it was, in South Africa, in Cape Town. And I tell you what a beautiful country. Anyway, it's great to be with all of you. Thanks for having me. So the story, our story, sure, be happy to share that with you. I see you have the picture of the bus there. Yep, that's our we call it our tiny home on wheels, and that's where we live, as you said, and we're excited about furthering this mission that we're all a part of together to end the trend. But the story for our family began back 25 years ago, and is it all right if I just share a little bit of how it began for us?
Please do.
So for our family, my mother was suffering from a lot of health challenges. We were, I guess you might say, we were health nuts because we felt we had to. We were trying to do everything we could to help my mom. She was missing organs due to an accident. And I'd like to say I came from an average family, a dog and a cat and a few siblings, but I don't know if 10 children are average in South Africa. It's not here. But they just didn't have a TV. But anyhow, we had a big family, and my mother was very sick for years. So somebody thankfully shared Neil Life, as all of our stories are, I know, similar, in that somebody cared enough to step out and share the Neil Life story. And I can remember I was actually, ironically, I was sitting at the table as they tried to share the products and the business of my family. And my dad, just very frank up front, but kind and gracious. He was a pastor, and he said, thank you, but no thank you. We don't want to lead you on. We're not interested. We eat a great diet, and we think we're doing just about as good as you could possibly do. And you know what? I was about to learn one of my first lessons in this business. They never gave up. And they understood that no meant just not right now. So they kept following up, and they asked, could they share it anyway? And Dad said, well, I'll listen, but we're not going to buy anything. And sure enough, he didn't. And it wasn't until 4 months later that my mother got started. And these products just completely turned our family, our whole family around, because, when mom's not healthy, it impacts when she's sick, and all the time it impacts everyone. Well, mom regained her health. In fact, she's in her 60s now, running the largest 10K road race in the world, as I understand it. And she's also training for a half marathon in her 60s. So that's where our story began. And then 4 years later, at the age of 18, I watched all this transpire, and I couldn't help during those years. But when I saw somebody who needed what we had, to share it. And so at 18, I started my own business. And actually the very day I turned 18. But is it all right to share just a little bit of the story at that point?
Go for
Drew?
it. Go for it, Josh.
Okay, well, at 18, I wish I could say I was some child prodigy that just took off in the business. But actually, I had a lot to learn, had a lot of challenges right from the start, and starting with, who did I go to? Who did I talk to? Because my parents had already enrolled everyone that I knew in the business, from our church, from our family and friends, our community. And so I literally started with, I don't know what you call it over there, but we call them a mailman, mail person, package delivery person. I started with them, and I signed them up. And then there was a guy who had a truck up for sale up the road, and with a hot rod engine that I thought was pretty cool. And so I talked to him, and he said no. And then I followed the example that I had learned with the people who brought my parents in. I kept following up. So he came on board, but I'll tell you, there was a lot of challenges in the very beginning. I got to director very quickly, but then I found out that not everybody who says, that you talk to are going to join, or that join are going to stay with you. And I had, I'll never forget. And I share this just to say, whether you're somebody just took off right from the start, or whether you're somebody like me who struggled a bit with, who do I talk to? Where do I go? I love the fact that I can honestly look somebody in the eye and say, if I can do it, you can too. Because I didn't have a list of names, but I tried everything from calling people to, we had phone books back then, to knocking on doors, passing out flyers, doing booths, slept in my car to work my first booth. And but you know what? It all paid off, and been blessed to build a business that's allowed my wife and I to travel the world. That's why we got to come to Cape Town 11 years ago. We've been able to be with our 6 children. We've been able to enjoy a business that's given us more than we could have ever dreamed or wished for. And you know what, Drew, it also did for me?
What's it?
It fixed my buck teeth.
Yeah. How did that happen?
Well, I started this business. I had my teeth were really messed up, but I traded vitamins to get my teeth fixed. And so, it's amazing what this business can do.
Well, that's a good story, Josh. And there's so many things in that story that I know so many people on this call can relate to and take out of that story. And so often we talk about the network marketing profession and near life, and we say that we have a better way. We have a better way than the traditional entrepreneur route. We have a better way than the corporate world. As a young, smart individual, what were the things or aspects of our profession that really got your attention and attracted you most?
Well, that's a great question. For me, it was two big things for me. Freedom. Mm-hmm. I wanted freedom. And I wanted to have a career, to do something that I felt could make an impact and could make a difference that would last beyond my short time here. And I got to thank my parents for that at the age of 18, really feeling strongly about impact. But my parents and my mom would always talk to me about God's given you unique gifts, talents, and abilities, and it's up to you what are you going to do with that during this short time on earth? Are you going to make an impact? Are you going to make a difference that lives beyond you? Or are you just going to take up space and just simply survive and tiptoe to your grave? So first of all, freedom. I thought I was going to be a pastor or a missionary. And so I wanted a business that would give me freedom, where I could go anywhere in the world, whatever I felt God called me to do, I could be free to do it without ever having to worry about finances. And my parents' philosophy was, we'll teach you to fish, we won't give you a fish. Mm-hmm. So I knew right away I had to put myself through college on my own, and I had to, make my way forward. And I thought, what better than to jump into a business where success absolutely equals impact. And the more success you have, the greater impact that you have. And I remember there was a quote that someone shared with me right at the time that I started in this business. And it's got to be one of my, I would say it's actually my favorite quote. And the quote says that wealth, or I want to add a word to that, wealth and maximum impact, okay, both are hidden from those who must do everything themselves. Mm-hmm. So creating wealth or living a life of maximum impact is hidden from those who try to do everything themselves. But on the other hand, it is revealed to those who are patient enough to teach, to train, to help, to coach other people. And so it was at that point that I realized it's like a whole paradigm shift, I don't even know how to say this. Like, it changed how I viewed everything from that day forward. That I realized, okay, you know what? I'm not a great leader, but I can grow into becoming a great leader. Great leaders aren't born, great leaders are made. And I realized rather than just working really hard, like I was one of those, growing up the oldest of 10 children, we had a small farm, and I remember the tractor was broken, and I, hoed the whole thing up with a pick and a shovel and a rake, and did all that by hand, an acre and a half. Now, some people may say that's nothing, Josh. I know there's huge farms out there, but but I remember that like as a child, and I knew that no one could outwork me. But it was then that I realized it wasn't just working hard. It wasn't just working sun up to sundown, helping, like I had to with my mother being so sick for years, and all that. It wasn't just working hard. It was investing in people, training, coaching, helping, developing. And if I did that, I could literally change the world one person at a time. And so that's what I absolutely love about network marketing. I don't know. I know it's not for everyone, but boy, I can't think of a greater platform or a better business to be a part of, whether you want to create wealth or live a life of maximum impact. Hey, why not have it all, right?
Absolutely. And Josh, I know that you had a stint in politics. You had a little time where you were in politics. And we know politics can be an all-consuming career, yet you were attracted back to Neolife. And just tell us a little bit about that point in your life and what brought you back out of retirement and into Neolife.
Well, for me, I ran for public office. I wanted to continue making an impact, making a difference, and it was amazing. We ended up we won by a landslide. We went in, I served 2 terms, and it was unopposed for a 3rd term. And I planned on serving a little while longer. And then I met somebody whom you all know, Kendra Brassfield. Mm-hmm. And I began to, I'll never forget that first meeting, hearing her speak. I got to say, in the very beginning, her first speech, it wasn't the most polished, but I saw, as she is today, she's amazing today, but I saw her heart, and I saw who this person was, and my wife and I were like, wow. I guess she'd been around, but I'd never realized who she was in the past. I never had a chance of getting to know her, I guess is what I mean. And getting to know her, talking with her, and seeing her passion, her vision for the future, and what this business could be, and where we could go, and her appreciation for the past and the families that have, over the last 50 years, have made Neolife what it is and provided us this incredible platform to build the next 50 upon. And I realized, like, wow, here's somebody who's young with a huge vision. And as we got to know her over the next year, I saw not only her vision, but her willingness, and now working with her. And Drew, I know you see this as well, but seeing her work ethic, her passion, and not to mention brilliant. She's reading deep finance books at 12 years old, had the opportunity to be mentored and be around some of the sharpest businessmen certainly in North America and around the world, from Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and others. But I saw this person who had a humble, brilliant, hardworking, all this, but a servant's heart. Like, you got this business, what it was about. It's a people's business, about getting in the trenches and serving and loving on people. And I remember seeing her one time jump up and wash dishes, for this family at this event. And I was like, wow, that's the kind of leader I can follow. So all this is going on, like, we're watching all this, and I'd always loved Neolife, and I was proud of who we were. But I was looking at what's the next 50 years going to look like? Who's the leader? What's the leadership that's going to carry us into that? And long story short, we ended up walking away from everything and deciding we wanted to throw our life. It was a 5-year period that I was in retirement, managing the business, supporting us. It was amazing. We were living the promise, right? But we realized that, hey, if we all came together, every single one of us around the world, and we get behind this mission to make this world a healthier and happier place by ending the trend, by building the #1 personal growth and leadership development company in the world, that we can truly not just be the best, but we can become #1 around the world. And Drew, I'm excited about that.
Gosh, that's a big vision. And we know that over the last 60 years, we're celebrating 60 years in business this year. And Neolife has made a tremendous impact around the world for the last 60 years. But then when you talk about that vision, we just know that we are just scratching the surface. And I truly believe that the impact over the next 10, 20, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years is going to be significantly bigger than it has been, which is something to get excited about as a Neolife community. And I want to go into events, Josh. We have some big events coming up across our markets in Africa. Events from senior manager seminars to director seminars, leadership schools, and of course we have our big 60-year conventions coming up, and the Southern African one is going to be in September. Now, I see you online, and I see that you're a great promoter of events, and you put a big emphasis on them. And just share with us, why are events so important if somebody is looking to build a Neolife business?
Well, you're right. And just like you, we're over here excited about our next upcoming events. Just finished this Nutrients launch, which, oh my gosh, is blowing us away. It's unbelievable. I knew this thing was big, but I don't think I could have fully perceived how big this thing was going to be. It's exciting. I know you're seeing the same thing over in South Africa. Yep. But now, we're gearing up for the next events in the summer, the 60th convention. And, for me, it's understanding the importance of events, to be honest with you, Drew, as something that has evolved for me. And one of the regrets that I have is I wish that at the age of 18 and in my early 20s, I wish I fully understood just how important events are. In fact, I would say to somebody, if you really want to create a incredible success and live a life of incredible impact and maximize that, then you're going to be not an amateur, but you're going to make a conscious decision that you're going to become a professional promoter of events. Like, you're going to be the best that you could possibly be at promoting events. And what I've discovered is anyone can develop that skill, but it really takes a conscious decision. I remember I used to say some ignorant things early in my business, things like, I love the fact that we had a home business, right? But, and I love that still, but I would, we put the home back in home business, and, I would almost undermine the importance of getting to events. Like, hey, you could just listen to a CD or an audio and could do it all. And I've again, through my evolution and growth and development in this business, I've come to the realization that you cannot overemphasize the importance of events. And, so yeah, I'm really passionate about that. And what I've discovered, and I know everyone who's been in this business anytime has as well, is that leaders are absolutely born at events. Uh-huh. And if I want to maximize, and this goes back to leveraging, if you will, leveraging my time, my talent, my resource. I'm all about that. I feel like life is it's short. right? And I want to create as much impact in that short period of time as I can. And that means looking at an event as, let's say an event is 1 hour. Okay, so let's say I get 10 people, and I got these great speakers that are speaking at this event. It's a 1 hour event. Okay, if I can work hard and let's say I get 10 people, or better yet, I get 100 people there, multiply that hour times 10 or times 100. Now, how much time did it take me to promote that event? And I'll tell you, I work like you, Drew. I work really hard. I mean, when there's an event, like I'll cancel everything around this event to say, okay, how do I leverage this one-time opportunity? You know, it's not every day I have this event. How do I maximize this and get as many people there and stay up as late as I have to? I'll never forget one night I was dialing till it's coming up to 10. And I thought, you know what, I should just stop right now. I thought, I can get a couple more minutes then. I can make that last phone call. And I did. And that guy represented, $500,000 in sales over the next couple of years. And so, again, I know we all have stories, but I think it's about leveraging other people's time, their talent, their resources. And if you and I know that getting people to an event and hearing other people's stories and facts tell, but stories sell, let's be real, right? So yeah, I'm really passionate about this. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep on learning and keep developing as a professional at this. I still got plenty to learn, but I'm passionate.
Good. Yeah. And I think we've all been in that situation where we've been at an event and the sessions have been amazing and the atmosphere has been incredible. And we just think, I wish I had invited so-and-so, or my team should be with me. And it almost feels like a missed opportunity. And the only way to overcome that is to become a professional promoter, know what events are in the various areas and promote them, and to maximize the potential of that event. And I know for myself and my wife, Tanya, our big decisions for our life and for our business were made at conventions and at the bigger events, because that is where you're exposed to the bigger thinking, you're exposed to the bigger picture. And the events is where your belief as a distributor grows. So Josh, thank you. And do you have any practical tips that you could give the team to help them promote events?
Well, absolutely. And, and I agree with what you just said, Drew. The regret of showing up at an event and thinking, oh my gosh, this was amazing, right? I remember I was at an event, in fact, a prayer breakfast last week in Silicon Valley. And I remember I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh, I should have invited so-and-so and I should have invited so-and-so. And I hate that feeling of regret, right? I'd rather pay the price, put in the work, the effort, and pay the price for success and live with the heavy weight of regret after the event saying, if only I would have, right? So a couple things that I'd recommend is, number one, start early. And these are obvious. I don't have any breakthrough new secret that's going to, allow you to show up with a crowd and put in, little to no effort. Unfortunately, guys, I don't have a magic wand. But what I have discovered over the years is it's simple things like starting early, as far ahead of the event as you can, when people's calendars are still open, and having them put it on their calendar and sitting down as your team. If you have a team, if not, you start with you, right? Promoting, and that's how you develop a team. But if you have a team, then sit down and find out from each of them, what is their goal? How many people do they want to have at that event? Put it on a whiteboard, write it down on a piece of paper, put it in your phone, whatever it is, write it down, let them know you're writing it down. Everyone's setting goals. How many people are they going to have there? And then, start early and then invite up into the last possible minute. And then, of course, I always say pick somebody up and take them with you too. I mean, if somebody shows up at a meeting and doesn't have somebody in the car, then I don't know that I want to work with them anymore. If they don't value it that much, or they can't at least pick somebody up, take them out to, I don't know, a coffee, a drink, or give them a ride, then I think there's something missing there. And the other thing is, when they say no to the event, I told my success team yesterday, I say, go for no. I mean, I expect you get a bunch of no's and then take that no and turn it into a yes. Because if they said no to coming to this event, now they owe me. And I'm going to take advantage of that in a good way to bless them. In other words, when they say, no, I can't be there, I'm going to say, I'm going to be naturally disappointed. Step one. Number two, step two, I'm going to be gracious. Bummer. Drew, I hate that you can't make it. Oh my, this is going to be amazing. I don't know when we'll have a speaker like this or whatever the event is, right? Build some value as if you'd invited them to the Olympics and you're bummed they can't go with you, right? And then, but gracious, listen, I respect the fact that you got to shampoo the goldfish. Your screen door fell off, but be gracious. And then, can I ask you a favor? And what I find is every time they say yes. I mean, almost every time. And so I go ahead right there and I line them up for the next, or I get them to watch a video link, or, to read a magazine, or whatever it is, whatever tool you have, I'm going to get them right then and there to commit. Now they owe me a favor. And what they don't know is I'm about to do them a huge favor. So just a couple ideas right there, but I wish there was a magic wand, don't you?
Absolutely.
Just poof, they show up. It doesn't work that way.
You got to do the inviting. Now, around the Near Life world, we are speaking about and we're training on the 3 daily success habits. And sometimes it's easy to overcomplicate and overthink our business, but the reality is our business is actually really simple. And that is what I really appreciate about the 3 daily success habits. For the new people on the call, success habit number 1 is use the products. Number 2, share the products and share the opportunity. And number 3, become the best version of yourself through personal development. And Zig Ziglar says it so well. He says that excitement gets us started, but our habits will get us there. And so, Josh, just talk to us about the 3 daily success habits and how you as a team and as a region are using and implementing these habits into your business to create success.
Well, what I love about this business, as you said, is it's a simple business. Okay. But at the same time, we all got to recognize and be honest, what's easy to do is easy not to do. Mm-hmm. But it's really as simple as I really have a confidence with the 3 daily success habits that it doesn't matter who somebody is, the level of size of their business, none of that, irregardless of all those, if they come to me and they say, Josh, I'm not having the success I want to have, or if I'm not having the success I want to have, I just go back to, can I count to 3? 1, 2, 3. Now, I would add one thing, and that is mindset. The mindset has to be right in order to go 1, 2, 3. And what do I mean by mindset? Being all in. That was one of the things that I had to break through, that I had to have personally was, we can't have an attitude of, well, let me just try this and see how it works. Imagine if there was, if we were sitting around the holidays. And and Drew, if you'll allow me, I'll share quickly a kind of a corny story, but I think it makes a point that could change somebody's life. And maybe it's just for one person. But imagine we're sitting around over the holidays. And Drew, you ask me and you say, Josh, what have you been up to lately? And I say, well, my wife and I, we found this diamond mine in the backyard, and, we're praying that God will bless it, and, we'll see how it goes. Would you really think I had a diamond mine in the backyard talking like that? I don't think so, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. On the other hand, if you said, Josh, what have you been up to? I say, oh my goodness, the Lord has blessed us. We found this diamond mine in the backyard, and every morning we're getting up in the morning and we're pushing our wheelbarrow out and we're bringing it back. And, we're praying that God will bring people into our organization, faithful people, not just anybody, but we're looking for, anybody, we're looking for to build an organization of people who have a dream and want to make an impact and want to make a difference. And, if I were to communicate like that, you'd start to get interested. Now, you might not sign up right away to join me. You might say, is this too good to be true? Is this real? You might come by the next morning with your binoculars, on, just spying on me to see if I'm really pushing the wheelbarrow out and bringing it back. Do I really have a diamond mine, right? Mm-hmm. Is this really reality? And then after a time of watching me, if you see that I'm enthusiastic and my actions line up with my talk, you're going to join me sooner or later. And so if the mindset is right and somebody is all in and they're committed, right? We call it in baseball, you step up to the plate and you're all in, like you're in the batter's box, you're ready to hit that ball, right? All in, no reservations. And so if you're all in, then it's as simple as the 3 daily success habits. Use the products, as you said, use all the products, everything, every one of them. Throw everything out in the home, just trash it, throw it. I found a bottle of soap in our house, a while back, and I had a family meeting. How did this get here? Where'd this come from? And, I threw it in the trash can, and they know I don't waste. Like, I'm a penny pincher. And I said, we will not have anything in this home, even if it's a gift. The person who gave it, they're gone. It's going in the trash. And so we use all the products. And then second is, that's easy for us. Obviously, we all love Neolife's products. But the second one is share the products and share the business opportunity. And so, I used to, and still do, but during when my business really took off, I'd be driving down the road saying 3 a day, every day, 3 a day, every day. And I just had this catchy phrase that I couldn't get out of my head, 3 a day, every day. And, to me, it's either 3, 10, whatever it is. At times it was more than that, but every single day. It's a habit. It's a daily habit. It's not a habit unless it's done daily. And so share the product, share the opportunity, invite, and follow up. That's the other thing I would say. I'll get the whole room saying this: invite, and follow up, invite, and follow up every single day. And then if somebody says, well, Josh, I'm all in, got my mindset right, I'm committed. Like, I've burnt the bridges. I have, burnt the ship. Like, I'm all in. I know this company is 60 years old, rock solid. The health and wellness industry is growing faster than ever around the world. Chronic disease is on the rise. Neolife has a solution, to help people be healthier and wealthier. And okay, I see it. It's just a matter of it's a matter of me. So I'm all in. I'm using the products. I'm sharing them, but I'm not succeeding like I want. Then I'm going to the third one, and I'm saying, okay, I got it. I know what it is. It's personal development. And, we were talking to somebody on our leadership call. I got the chance to interview last week, Jim Stevenson. Incredible story. The guy was, he grew up in poverty, extreme poverty. His father was an alcoholic, died when he was 15 years old. He had to drop out of school, go support the family. He was a construction worker. And then somebody shared the Neolife business opportunity with him. And he said that while he's had incredible success, like all of Canada, the country of Canada is underneath him. And he said the biggest thing that he got out of this is not the dream homes and the travel around the world, but it's the personal growth and development. And I'll tell you something, Drew, I know you feel the same way. I used to think the number one thing I loved was the product saving lives, and I do love that. And I am passionate. But even better than that is not just being healthy and existing, but growing into and becoming everything that we were destined to be. And that happens through the personal growth and development in this business. And it makes us better at everything we do, better husbands, wives, mothers, fathers, siblings, leaders in the community. You grow. And so that's the 3 daily success habits, as you said. Use the product, share the products, personal growth and development. And that personal growth and development is every single day. Reading a little bit, listening to an audio, going to every single event, and looking at yourself in the mirror. You're the boss. If it's going to be, it's up to you. And so we're having a lot of success just keeping the business simple and coming back to that. It removes the excuses and it gets down to what's really happening.
Absolutely. And for anybody listening on the call, if you aren't getting the results that you clearly believe you're capable of, or if you want to increase your impact and increase your results, the best thing you can do is just get back to the 3 daily success habits. Have a conversation with yourself. Sometimes it's going to be a difficult conversation. And just ask yourself, how well am I implementing these 3 habits into my life? And right now at the moment, I'm reading a book with my success team called The Slight Edge. And he says that if you want a miracle, be that miracle. And we got to stop looking for that quantum leap in life, because that already exists. It exists in our daily habits compounded over time. That's where your quantum leap is. And it's funny because this personal development, which you touched on so beautifully there, Josh, thank you. Success habit number 3, there's no doubt that people who intentionally work on improving themselves are the people who achieve success quicker in this business. And there comes a point is, people come into our business with a lot of excitement, but there comes a point where you got to marry that excitement with skill and a mindset. And everything that you want right now is outside of your comfort zone. And you're going to have to become the person that can step out of that comfort zone. Become the person who becomes attractive to others. And one thing I never fail to be amazed at, and I'm always learning in this business, is our leaders and our president's team are always learning. They're always growing and they're always getting better. And I find that fascinating. And Josh, last question to close off this call. For the people who have made a decision that they are going to build their Neolife business, the people that have big dreams, big goals, what would you say to them? What words of encouragement do you have for them?
Well, and as I answer that question, if I may add that, speaking of personal growth, one of the quotes that's really impacted me is, I can't teach what I don't know, and I can't lead where I won't go myself. And that's why personal growth and going to events are so critically important. As a leader, we have to go first. We got to pay the price first. We have to lead for it even when no one else is following us. Mm-hmm. We got to go first, and then others will follow in time. And I got to tell you something. I am so grateful to your family, to the Boltons, from the McDermotts and the Boltons, and so many others over in the Africa region that have made a huge impact in my life and in my personal growth and development. I mean, I've listened to CDs and DVDs through the years from that I would ask when Roger would come over here. Hey, can I get something from one of the trainings or something over there? I want to hear the best of the best as they share the keys to personal growth and development and success. And so I'm so grateful to you, your family, and so many others. And so I would say, just in answering your final question there, that together we will. It's not we might. Together we will end the trend. We're a 60-year-old company that has the solutions that people desperately need. We will together become the #1 company in the world. We have the right leadership. We're debt-free, rock solid, over 50 countries around the world. We have, a spotless track record and reputation in the industry. We have a beautiful, amazing, never been seen before platform to build the next 50 years. And I believe, speaking of years, if everyone on this call will invest 5 years, all in, I don't mean full-time. You may have to work your way into full-time, but I mean all in. Like the bridges are burnt behind you. The ship, there's no turning back. Like, this company is legit. We're real. We have 60 years to verify that, to prove that, right? We know that we have the solution. The question is, are we, from this moment forward, are we going to go all in with this business? And I think about Chad Johnson, a guy who, a recent success story with us. He's a coach to millionaires. He's made millions himself. He didn't come into this because he needed to make more money. He came into it because he told me, he said, Josh, this business has everything I want, from lifestyle, friendships, impact, opportunity. It has everything. He said, and I believe this train has already pulled out of the station. He said, I believe we'll become #1 in the industry. He said, I've been watching for a few years, watching everything, watching what's happening, watching the leadership. He said, I'm absolutely convinced this company will end the trend. And you know what? I think I know that's a fact. The train has left the station. You're on this call. That means you're on it. My thing is, get in, get all in. And together, the next 5 years, when I see you work together at a big international worldwide event, you'll be telling me, hey, you know what? I went through pain. I went through struggle. I went through the ups and downs, but I never gave in. I never gave up. And I want to add one more thing to that. The challenges you're going through. And I know your challenges are different than my challenges. I told you some of my challenges. Starting out, my parents went into retirement a year after I got into the business. I was doing the first meeting on my own. I was insecure. People were sleeping in the back of the room. It was terrible. It was awful. I told you, sleeping in the car and things like that. But there's people over here in our business and probably over there who don't have a car. I was blown away the stories I heard when I went over there. So inspired. But what I got convicted with through this business? That the more challenges, the more hardships that you go through, as long as you never quit, you never give up, the more challenges, the more setbacks, the more you watch other people take off faster than you, and you think, what the heck is wrong with me? Maybe I'm just not cut out for this, because I went through all of that. I showed up at a convention only because I'd already bought the ticket and I was going to quit the business. I thought it was for my parents and everyone else, but not me. But I'll never forget when this hit me, that the greater the challenges I go through, the greater, as long as I don't quit, the greater the platform I have to inspire others, to encourage them that if I can do it, you can do it. And so I want to tell you, we have some, I don't know if you're familiar with the lottery. We have something where people they buy tickets to try to, win the lottery and win millions of dollars. But you know what? People are maybe envious of people who win the lottery, who inherit a whole bunch of wealth and do nothing for it, but they're never inspired. I'm inspired by people who've overcome the greatest challenges and they never quit and they reach the top.
Josh.
So Drew, thanks for all you're doing. Thanks for how you've inspired us over here and your whole team over there. We're inspired by what Africa is doing. And together, we're all going to go a little harder, and we're going to make this whole thing #1 in the world.
Absolutely. And you are getting us all fired up from the other side of the Atlantic. We so appreciate it. And I know that there are people on this call tonight that are new to the Neolife family. I also know there are people that are on the outside looking into this Neolife family as a possible solution to their financial challenges or to help them achieve their financial goals. And so I just want to say to them, as we close this call, that network marketing is not for everybody. But I do believe it's a great option for people that may have been working in a job for the last 5, 10, 15 years or more. And I always encourage people to learn the Neolife business because Neolife offers people a better way to make money. I truly believe that. And it's not perfect, but it certainly is a better way. And I think you described that beautifully tonight, Josh. It's a business that you can start for under 1,000 Rand if you're in South Africa. If you or maybe you know somebody that has started a business, whether it's a professional business or franchise, you're looking anywhere from hundreds of thousands upwards to 1 million Rand just to get started. And that is money that is normally borrowed from a bank, from family or friends. And here we have a business, a Neolife business opportunity that you can start for less than a price of a pair of running shoes. Under 1,000 Rand, and it has unlimited earning potential, which I just think is incredible. And when you understand the Neolife business, you'll learn that there's no cap on your income. And now I know that every job I had a cap on what I could earn. No matter how hard I worked or how good I was, there was a limit as to what I could make. And that's what got me so excited about this business. It gave me the ability to leverage time to get paid over and over again on the work that I did. And we call that a residual income. And if you are a traditional business owner or you have a job, the chances are if something happened to you right now, your income will stop. And I don't know how much money you'll be making after working this business part-time, like Josh mentioned, for 3, 4, 5 years. But if something happened to you right now and you can no longer work, your business will continue to pay you. You'll have residual income. And that is incredible. You'll continue to get paid. And it's your opportunity to create a passive income, something that you can work part-time on the side without giving up what you're currently doing. And so it comes with no risk. And I truly believe that for most people, Neolife is their best shot to create a life that they want and to create a life that they actually choose. It will not only make you an income, it will put you around amazing people that will uplift you, train you, people that will mentor you. And I learned more about life and success in my first year in this business than I did probably in 13 years of my corporate career. So Josh, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day, for being so willing to share your experience and your knowledge, and adding such big value to the Neolife community all over the world, in fact. And to every one of you on the call tonight, thank you for being with us. We truly have a very exciting future ahead. As a Neolife community, we are passionate about our vision to make this world a healthier and a happier place. And I get so excited when I see people all over the world from all walks of life being empowered and uplifted through our products and through our opportunity. And if it's happening for them, it can happen for you. So to all of you, God bless you all. Thank you for being on the call and have a great evening.